Hey everyone, welcome back. Part 2 video, the global climate change propaganda. Just going to go over a couple of things here. Unclean at any speed. This is one of the articles we went over from IEEE.org. Just wanted to read a little excerpt. So there was a study produced by Congress, funded with public money, not corporate money. And according to Maureen Cropper, the report committee's vice chair and professor of economics at the University of Maryland, whether we are talking about a conventional gasoline-powered automobile, an electric vehicle, or a hybrid, most of the damages are actually coming from stages other than just driving the vehicle, she points out. Part of the impact arises from manufacturing because the battery packs are so heavy. More than 1/3 the weight of a Tesla Roadster, for example. Manufacturers work to lighten the rest of the vehicle, so they need to use lightweight materials that are energy intensive to produce and process, carbon composites and aluminum in particular. Electric motors and batteries add to the energy of electric car manufacturers. In addition, the magnets in the motors and some of the vehicles contain rare earth minerals. Curiously, these metals are not so rare. They're sprinkled across the globe, and so their extraction becomes uneconomical in most places. A study released last year by a group of MIT researchers calculated that global mining of two rare earth metals, neodymium and dysprosium, would need to increase 700% and 2,600% respectively over the next 25 years to keep pace with the various so-called green tech plans. Complicating matters is the fact that China, the world's leading producer of rare earths minerals, has been attempting to restrict its exports of late. Substitute strategies exist, but deploying them introduces trade-offs in efficiency and costs. So yeah, they want to use China because China has terrible environmental standards and no oversight for their workers being treated. The materials used in batteries are no less burdensome to the environment, the MIT study noted. Compounds such as lithium, copper, and nickel must be coaxed from the earth and processed in ways that demand energy and can release toxic wastes. And in regions with poor regulations, which is where all these minerals are going to be coming from, mineral extraction can extend risks beyond just the workers directly. Surrounding populations may be exposed to toxic substances through the air, groundwater contamination. So just going a little bit farther into the green, so-called green nature of these new battery technologies. So we're going to talk about why the utility grid is so bad. And it's not just the United States, like we talked about the last video. The day Europe's power grid came close to a massive blackout, they're suffering from the same issues. They use the same technology. A lot of their grid is very old, just like the United States. Now we're at NPR, aging and unusable. The nation's electrical grid is the weakest link. So this is why we're losing all of this energy that we produce, because these electrical grids are ancient by modern standards. Typhoon blows hole in Japan's aging power grid. It's a problem you find all over the world. And then these are some of the articles we went over yesterday. More than 60% of the energy used for electricity generation is lost in conversion. And another one, 60-70%. So these grids, 60 to 70% energy lost, and these grids are functioning only at around 20 to 30% efficiency, meaning what we're burning, what we're making right now, we're only getting 20-30% of work out of that. And so we're supposedly in this climate crisis, and yet nobody's talking about upgrading these utilities. Why? Because there's no money in utilities. They utilize different talking points to sell us this whole green idea concerning electric cars and so-called renewable energy, while we are essentially wasting 70 to 80%, 60 to 70 in this case, of a regular fuel gasoline vehicle. So we know we have all this technology, and yet the efficiency is such that we have to buy more of the product. You see, this is how these corporations work. That's why they want you to go into the green vehicles, because the electricity grid is only 20 to 30% efficient, so they have a massive markup, and that's exactly why we see all of this, 60% of energy lost, 70% of energy lost. So you have to buy 70% more to get 30% of the work that you need to be doing on a daily basis. And again, here's another one we went over, wasting 60 to 90% of its energy. And the reason it's like that is because they need you to buy more so that they make more. And so it's the same idea. Essentially, it's the same people getting involved in the green energy business with all these batteries and cars, new cars, and electric bikes coming from China, So here's just a little list of what we can do to prevent our impact and to reduce our carbon footprint especially. Going to the farmer's market is huge. Giving your money to an actual person instead of some nameless multinational company purchasing things from overseas and getting it shipped here with these weird subsidy and trade agreements. And stop going to big box stores and mega grocery chains. All of that stuff, we're getting garlic and ginger from China in many of the grocery stores in the United States, and especially in other countries. So that's very unnecessary. I mean, we could just get it from our own country or our own state in many cases. You want to drive less. It's hard to resist the convenience of driving, but the urban sprawl has a really big part to play in that. So making the proper decisions, sometimes it can be hard, but this is what we should be doing. Support local businesses and supply chains, even manufacturing things ourselves, building our own table, building our own chair. As funny as it sounds, instead of going to IKEA or Target or something like this, where they have to send that chair from China or these other strange places from around the world. Just doing these 4 little things, if we really take this seriously, will make a massive impact on the state of our planet. So I encourage everybody to join me, because this is exactly what I do. Once you get used to it, it becomes much easier. But yeah, hope everybody is doing well out there. Have a great one.